is going to
I
explain.
had got disconnected when you had shown the question. I had got disconnected due to connectivity issues actually.
Okay, okay, not a problem. I
Yeah.
haven't explained the sum yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So Nitya,
Yes, sir.
yeah, chalo, start. What is your explanation behind it?
So first I took the horizontal velocity as v by root 2 meter per second.
Okay,
Then I took x is equal to 0.
okay,
X is equal to v by root 2 meter per second.
okay,
So then I took y is equal to 0, which is equal to v by root 2 meter per second.
hmm,
Y is equal to minus 9.8 meter per second square.
okay,
So when there is no wind resistance, x is
okay,
equal to 0,
hmm,
then x is equal to v by root 2.
hmm,
Then if we take t, x is equal to v by root 2 t.
okay,
Then y is equal, now y, so y is equal to minus 9.8, which
hmm,
is equal to minus 9.8 t plus v by root 2,
okay,
which is equal to minus 9.8 t square by 2 plus v by root 2 t. Then
okay,
t when y is equal to 0, 0
hmm,
is equal to minus 9.8 by 2 t square plus v by root 2 t.
okay,
0 is equal to t in bracket minus 4.9 t plus v by root 2.
hmm,
Then t is equal to 0 minus 4.9 t is equal to minus v by root 2. Then
okay,
t is equal to v by 4.9 root 2.
okay, fine. So you got that value of time.
Yes.
Okay, then,
Then x is equal to v by root 2 into
hmm,
v by 4.9 root 2,
okay,
which is equal to v square by 9.8.
v square by 9.8. Okay, correct. Then,
Then therefore the ball travels is equal to v square by 9.8 meter before landing.
okay,
Then the truck after t seconds, the back of truck is equal to 5 plus 9 t meter
hmm,
from the initial position of the ball. So the ball
okay,
travels is equal to v by minus 4.9 root t seconds.
okay,
Now 5 plus 9 t is equal to 25.55 meter.
hmm,
And front side is equal to 25.55 plus 2.5 is equal to 28.05 meters.
okay,
And 707 v into 2.28 is equal to 25.55. Then v is equal to 15.85 meter per second.
okay, correct. So one value you got it as 15.85.
Yes.
Okay,
Then next, root 2 v square is equal to 73.5 root 2 plus 18 v.
okay,
Root 2 v square minus 18 by doing v is
hmm,
equal to 18 plus root 912 by 2 root 2, which is
okay,
equal to 17.04.
okay. Second
So
value you get it as 17.0.
yes,
Okay,
so it
means
is
you
between
just took
17.1 and 18.8 meters.
17.0 and 15.8.
15 point, yeah,
Yeah,
15.8 meters.
15.8 and 17.0. These are the two answers you got. And the entire process you did by taking the horizontal case differently and vertical case differently, correct? That was
Yes,
your approach. Okay,
yes.
fine. Thank you, Nitya.
Welcome.
Okay, so she got the two values correct as 15.8 and 17.1, and she took the basic method by taking the vertical case differently, horizontal case differently, and getting the answer. I will just tell anyone else who have any different methods, because even Rajas sent me the same type of solution. Even his answer is correct and he applied the same method. He solved horizontal separately, vertical separately, and he got the two limits. But just observe that this method is bit lengthy. It's a correct approach. If the speed of calculation is very well, you can get the answer correct. Now I have one more approach. A easier one might be I don't know what exactly to say. Now what they define that when the ball was kicked from this point, so it is going to complete the entire projectile, because at the end the statement states the assume that the initial height of the ball is equal to the height of the ball at the instant it begins to enter the truck. Means the ball is going to complete the projectile. If the ball is going to complete the projectile, means I can directly use the formulas of horizontal range and I can use the formula for time of flight. Total time it takes from the initial kicking point to the point it enters the truck. Now there are two cases. Since they require the minimum maximum velocity, means they mean to say if I hit if I kick with less speed, it will fall at the start of the trunk, and if I hit with some maximum speed, it will fall at the end of the trunk. Trunk is nothing but the back portion of the truck. So I have two range possible. One range is from the kicking point to the corner of the trunk, outside corner, and the second range is the kicking point to the inside edge of the trunk. Means in the second case, the length of the trunk will also be added for calculating the range. So I just assume that since it is a complete projectile, let capital T be the time of flight. After that, since the car movement is happening at the same time when the ball is kicked. So when the ball reaches the trunk, in that time interval, the car has also started moving, and the car is moving at a constant speed. And since it is moving at a constant speed, so directly I can write the distance covered by the car in that time from the kicking to the ball entering the trunk. Means the time of flight, the distance covered will be nothing but speed into time. So speed of the truck they have given as 9 meter per second, and the time is nothing but time of flight. So directly I can substitute the velocity value. I will get the distance covered by the car. Means along with d naught, which was the initial distance, the car has further moved by x distance. So directly can I say the range? I am using the word minimum just to indicate the first minimum velocity. So the minimum range is just for the first case, means when it hits the corner of the trunk, the outside corner of the trunk. So that time the range will be less as compared to the range when the ball hits the inside edge of the trunk. So for that first value of range, which is less, I can directly say that will be d naught plus x, because d naught was the initial distance and x was further moved by the car. And this range means the ball will get into the corner edge of the trunk, means it is going to enter at the outside corner, means at this point it will enter. So if I directly substitute your d naught value and x, so d naught was 5 and x is 90 from the above case, what you got. Now once you know these values, I know minimum range. So directly they are given one condition, the ball is kicked at 45 degree. And we know that whenever the angle is 45 degree, that time the range formula is given as, what is the range formula? U square by G. Now since they have used velocity V naught, so that V naught I am just assuming it as V minimum, means for the first case, means the velocity when it will hit the first end of the trunk. I'm just assuming it as V min. So as per the formula for range at 45 degree, we have V min square by G. That is the formula. Means this range and this range both should be equal because it is completing a projectile. So directly I will equate both the values. Once I equate both the values, I will substitute the value of time of flight. Now the time of flight value also I know. The time of flight formula is 2u sine theta by g. U I just assume it as V minimum. First case, sine 45 by g. Now if I simplify this, g I can take the LCM, or else g value you can substitute as 10. So if I substitute the g value as 10 and I take the LCM, I can get a quadratic equation, something a relation in this form. Now I got this relation. Your sine 45 is 1 by root 2. 2 by root 2 will become root 2. So it will be 9 root 2 V min, which will go on the other side, that will become minus. This G and this G is going to get cancelled after taking the LCM. And to complete the LCM for this term, I need to multiply G with 5. That means that will become 50. And since it is plus, on the other side, it will become minus. So I got a quadratic equation. Once I solve this quadratic equation, I get the value of the velocity as 15.87. You can use the formula method, minus b plus minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So this is the minimum velocity of kicking by which it will land at the first end of the trunk. Because your ball is going to complete the projectile. So how much horizontal distance is going to complete? It is going to complete your v square by g. And what is that horizontal distance? Nothing but d naught by d naught plus x, because d naught was the initial distance and x was further moved by the car. So what is your total horizontal displacement to be covered by the ball was d naught plus x. And whenever the angle is 45 degree, I know the horizontal displacement or the range which will be covered at angle 45 is given as u square by g. So d naught plus x was same as u square by g. Yes, OM, is it clear? So we got the first value. Suppose now if I want to go for the second range. Now the second range is nothing but the ball should fall at the second end of the trunk. Nothing but that time this length will also be included. So d naught plus L plus x. So d naught plus L, this is the total distance, and x is the distance by the car in the time of flight, nothing but when the ball is going to reach the trunk. So this is the total horizontal displacement which is to be covered. I will just substitute the values. D naught is given as 5, L is given 2.5, and x was 90 as earlier, and we got this as 7.5 plus 90. Now when you get this maximum range, now again theta is 45 for the second case also, it is not changing. Again if theta is 45, your R formula is Vmax square by G. I'm writing Vmax just to indicate that it is the second case. I'm getting the maximum velocity value. So I'm writing max at the suffix. So again now this range, which is the horizontal displacement of the ball, and this is the distance which it has to cover. Both will be same. I will equate both of them. Again, I will substitute the value of t as 2u sine theta by g. U was Vmax, sine 45 by g. Again, sine 45 is 1 by root 2. 2 by root 2 will become root 2. This root 2 and 9 will become 9 root 2. So it is similar to the earlier simplification, which will lead to Vmax square minus 9 root 2 Vmax minus 75. Again, if you solve this quadratic by formula method, you will get the Vmax value as 17.11 meter per second. So if the given range is nothing but value should lie between 15.87 to 17.11. Yeah, Naman.
So I have one question. Why did we take distance covered by the car as x, but if we want to find like when the ball will reach the trunk, can't we just take the distance as d naught plus L for maximum and d naught for minimum?
But the car is not at rest. When you kick the
Okay.
ball starts
Yes, sir.
moving. So obviously, till the ball reaches the trunk, the car might have covered some horizontal distance.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So I hope even this method is clear. Yes, Bhavya. It was just the calculation part. So it was bit of imagination that you need to consider. And see, I said whichever formula we had written earlier, we have to use those in indirect forms. I said that. See, here also indirectly it was given theta as 45 degree. So I directly use R is equal to U square by G. So that much bit of indirect application you have to do. So I told you to remember those formulas along with the conditions. When I use R equal to U square by G, whenever the angle is 45 degree, I said this 2 to 3 times yesterday. Same thing over here. I can directly use the formula. No need to go by each and everything. And also one more thing I said that whenever the ball is reaching back on the ground, means it is complete projectile, directly go by your standard formulas, your capital range, your capital time of flight, everything. So for complete projectile, even if you don't go for horizontal vertical, it's fine. That will be bit lengthy. If you apply direct formula, obviously your time will be saved. Anyway, you can give. Anyway, you can go. But Nitya, Rajesh, Bhavya, like your answers were correct. Your method was also correct. Just a bit lengthy one, but no problem. Yeah, Jayendra, the second approach is nothing but you need to separately solve for x displacement and vertical displacement. Like for vertical displacement, you will say that y is equal to 0 because it is going to land on the trunk. And you are going to apply s is equal to ut plus half at squared. At the same time, you say the total horizontal distance is going to move with a uniform velocity. So that time you take the component of velocity as V naught into sine 45, that is V naught by root 2. V naught into cos 45, sorry. So V naught by root 2. So that you multiply by time, you get the value of horizontal distance. Then the first value is substituted in the second to get the value of time. So again, overall, if you see, that is nothing but indirectly you are calculating the value of R and T. And then again you're applying the same trick. So everyone applied this formula. It is just like they derived your R and T, but we don't have to do that. We can directly use. Yeah, Jayendra, you understood the second approach? Yes, Shaunak, the range is maximum at 45 degrees. So we are changing the velocity. Now, so I use the formula R is equal to U square by G. Yeah, so anyone want to ask anything, or can I move ahead? Because there are two types to complete today. Tanmay, I am just writing the minimum and maximum word just to show the two limits, because once when it was released at a certain velocity, it was hitting the near end of the trunk, and when the velocity was increased, it was hitting the far end of the trunk. So just to indicate that near end and far end distances, I am labeling it as minimum range and maximum range. D naught was earlier, the early gap between them, and when the ball was kicked, the car started moving uniformly. So obviously when the ball is going to reach the trunk, in that particular time your car is going to move ahead also, because it is traveling with a velocity v. So that distance even I need to consider when the ball is going to fall in the trunk. Or else if you take only D naught, then obviously the ball is not going to reach the trunk. Till then the car might have went ahead. Yeah, Tanmay, is it clear? Maximum range means it has to hit at this point. So that time length of the trunk will also be there involved. So there are two possibilities. The ball has to enter the trunk. So from this point to this point. So this is the minimum, this is the maximum. Durga, just try to rejoin. You will able to see the screen. Okay, I'm just moving ahead to the next type. Okay, so that was ground to ground projectile. Now, the second type of questions you might come across is nothing but your horizontal projectile from a height. Means you are at a certain height and you are throwing the object horizontally from that height. Nothing but diagrammatically, if I try to find out. So you can say this is the building with some certain object on it. I'm going to throw this exactly horizontal with the velocity u, and obviously it is going to form a projectile when it reaches the ground. Now, if I talk about the horizontal motion of this ball, now horizontally there is no acceleration acting in the horizontal direction, so obviously it is uniform motion. And suppose the distance which it will cover, I label it as r dash. So range for your horizontal projectile, I'm just labeling it as r dash. So displacement, I can say it is r dash horizontally. Time of flight nothing but from the start to the end, I am labeling it as t dash. Time of flight for horizontal projectile. And velocity is nothing but u horizontally. So horizontal uniform motion, so directly I can relate the formula and I can get r dash is equal to u t dash. That is one relation you can try to get. The second, if I deal with the vertical motions, now the vertical motion, it is a non-uniform motion. Now initially, since you're throwing horizontally, means vertically there is no velocity. Initial velocity was horizontal, that means vertical it was nothing. That means if I talk about the displacement, that will be the height of the projectile. So that will be h dash. I'm just considering displacement. Since it is downward, so acceleration will be plus g. And your initial velocity will be 0. Why will it be 0? Because I'm throwing it horizontally. So initially there is no velocity which is acting vertical. So that velocity will be 0. And directly if I apply the formula, I can get the value of h dash is half g t dash square. Now directly you can apply these two formulas or just remember this concept. What is horizontal and what is vertical? So that concept either you remember, or to save time you can directly remember the formula. So that is actually the formula for your vertical free fall for your h dash. And suppose if they ask you for final velocity on reaching the ground, if they tell you find the final velocity on reaching the ground, so obviously the velocity will make certain angle with the ground. It will be a bit inclined when it reaches the ground. So obviously if it is inclined, I will split that into two components as Vx and Vy. Means I need to separately find your horizontal and vertical component of velocity. Now we know that your horizontal motion is a uniform motion. So obviously the final velocity's horizontal component will be same. That is going to remain as u. Because for the entire projectile, horizontal motion is a uniform motion. So Vx value will be u. But suppose if time of flight we calculated or time of flight is known to us, means the total time the ball takes to reach the ground is known to us, then I can directly say that Vy means the final velocity vertically. I can directly apply your V equal to u plus at, and u is 0 because initially the vertical velocity component was 0 plus gt dash, and directly you can get the value of vertical component, and just showing the method. Once you know horizontal component and vertical component, the final velocity is nothing but by Pythagoras. That we did in during your resolution of vectors, that the resultant is root of horizontal component square plus vertical component square. So you got the velocity at the final point. They even sometimes ask you find the velocity in mid of certain point. So Vy Shaunak we got by applying the motion equation vertically, because vertical is non-uniform. So I just applied the formula V equals to U plus AT. So if I apply the formula V is equal to U plus AT vertically, initial vertical velocity is 0, acceleration is g, and t is nothing but the time it takes to reach the ground, and v is the vertical component. And Dvit, I have written r dash, t dash, h dash just to avoid the confusion between these formulas and the formula of your oblique projectile from ground. So you should not get confused कि सर यहाँ पे r ये दिया हुआ है, वहाँ पे r वो था. So just to avoid that confusion, I am just resembling with different letters. That's it, nothing else. No, Shaunak, it's your equation v is equal to u plus at. So how it will be gt square? I'm using the first motion equation. I'm not using the second s is equal to. So in case of s, the height will be given to you. Yeah, Shaunak. Sarma, I just written this because I don't know what will be what data will be given in the question. So in the question, if they give you time of flight directly, so you can use the formula v equal to u plus at. If they give you displacement in the question, so you can use v square equal to u square plus 2as. So anyhow, like it depends on what data is given. So if time of flight is known, you go by first motion equation to get final velocity vertically. If displacement is known, you can go for third motion equation to get the final velocity vertically. Yeah, Tanmay? Okay, so anyone else is having any other doubt related to this? I just want that the method should be clear, the approach should be clear, that how to attempt this type of questions, and also what things you have to remember. That whenever I talk about horizontal, whenever I talk about vertical, things should be pretty clear. Uniform, it should continuously get bombarded in your brain whenever you talk about horizontal components. Vertical is non-uniform, means continuously it should be like 3 motion equations. Depending upon the data, you can apply n. So you have 1 minute, just go through the entire slide. I'll just wait for 1 minute. If anyone want to ask anything, they can ask, or else I will just move to the next slide. Just 1 minute. Snehil, I took vertically because your ball was thrown horizontally. Now, since the ball was thrown horizontally, means at the initial condition, there was no vertical component of the velocity. Means when I talk about the vertical motion, the initial velocity is 0. So I took u as 0. That is a vertical motion. Yeah, Virok, tell me.
So in this case, there won't be any theta or something, right?
No, nothing. But they might ask you theta when it lands.
Yes.
Yeah, that time you can calculate na? Angle when it lands by
Yes,
taking
sir.
the components tan inverse or something. Okay, so I think so. No doubts are there. I'm just moving ahead. So there are a few numericals based on this, and then one last type, the chapter will get over. So I hope everyone saw the formulas and the method how to do. Okay. So here's the first question. Who is ready to give the answer? Okay, Rahul. Any other? Anyone else? Okay, Kushi. Rahul and Kushi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Chalo, I am just showing the question. Okay. Even Tanmay, you can try. You can hear me, Tanmay? So this is your question about the airplane. It is going to drop some food packets, and it will just check out how much time will it take for the food pocket or food packet. It is actually a printing mistake. It's food packets to reach the ground, and also its horizontal range. Once you're ready with the answer, Rahul, Kushi, Tanmay, just let me know. It's packet. Don't get confused. Just a typo mistake. Okay, so Bhavya got the answer as 9 seconds. Okay, so one answer is ready with me. So Bhavya is saying it's taking 9 seconds to reach. Yeah, Khushi, very quick.
So I got the first one, 9 seconds only. Second one, I'm just calculating.
Okay, okay, chalo. Be quick. Okay, Jayendra, Nitya, okay, 9 seconds. So 9 seconds is, I think so it's correct because most of you are getting. Okay, Bhavya got the second answer too. Very good, Bhavya. So today Andheri people are rocking. Khushi, you are ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's the answer? Why it's taking so much time to just calculate horizontal range? Once you get the
Just
time, hardly 2 seconds you should take.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me.
The second answer,
Yeah, tell me. Second answer is
6480.
6480. Are you sure?
Yes, so
Okay, so speed, how much you got? The
speed,
horizontal speed, yeah.
one
Range,
minute.
chalo, tell me for range, what formula
Yes.
you applied?
Range I applied this one. U into T dash.
Correct. So U was how much?
U was 720.
Okay. Khushi, a small mistake. Very silly mistake. Very silly mistake. Will I take kilometer per hour? Do I take kil?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Got it, got it, got it.
Yeah. Chalo,
Okay,
not
I'll
a problem.
calculate again.
Okay, okay, sure. Rahul, what you got?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Virok, how much you got?
Sir, time I got 9 seconds,
Okay.
and speed I got range I got 1800 meter.
Correct, correct, correct. Rahul, even you got the same
Sir,
thing. Thank you, Viro.
sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Actually, when I'm typing in the chat, it is showing that you are not in the meeting. Should I rejoin or something?
You just try to rejoin once again.
Okay, sir.
Just try to rejoin once again. Yeah. Rahul, you got the answer?
Yeah, sir, I got the same answer.
Same answer.
Time is
Okay,
9
chalo.
seconds.
Hmm. Chalo, tell me the solution part then. How you got 9 seconds as time? What formula you
Yeah, sir.
applied? What?
So for time, I use the formula h dash equals half gt dash square.
Correct.
So
Means,
and
yeah.
for range, I use r dash equals ut dash.
Okay, and G, how much you took? 9.8, correct? So,
Yeah, sir.
is it the same way what I'm currently typing?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, then T square you get as 81, correct? And then time,
Yeah.
you can say it is 9 seconds. So that is your first part. And then for the second part, you can directly say your range R dash was given as your T into velocity,
Yeah.
correct? And 720 kilometer per hour, if I'm not wrong, it is 200 meter per second.
200.
Correct. Into 9.
200
So,
into 9
yeah,
is
yeah.
making
Perfect,
100.
perfect, perfect. Chalo. Thank you. Thank you, Rahul. Okay, so this is the solution for it. So, always remember, since the airplane was moving with a certain speed, so any object which is within the airplane will also have the same speed. So the food packet which was going to be dropped, that will also have that horizontal speed due to inertia. Yeah, Akshat.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, I couldn't understand what you were actually saying.
I was saying that airplane was moving horizontally, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
any object which is inside it, due to
yeah,
inertia, those objects are also moving at the same speed as the aeroplane.
yes,
So whenever anything is going to fall down from it, so at
yeah,
that moment, it is going to have that initial velocity with which it was traveling with the aeroplane.
yes, sir, yes,
And
sir.
that food pocket, the packet will also have that horizontal velocity.
Initial,
Yeah,
that initial horizontal velocity.
yeah.
Thank you,
Understood?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, thanks.
Okay, so I'm just giving the next question. Yeah, Rajesh. Okay, so who is ready for the next question? Just displaying the question. Okay, I think so. I will just written the solution also for this. Okay, everyone got this? I think so. Sure. So here's the second example. So I'm giving all the possible questions which can arise of this type, so that any type of numerical you would be able to solve. So this is the second type of question of the horizontal throw. Yeah, bit of violent question, Nitish. But such type of questions only come. Yeah, what happened? Not yet. Okay, so Bhavya, Rajesh has got the answer first. this time. So Girgaon Center, tan inverse of 1 by 5. Okay, Bhavya, Sneha are also getting the same, tan inverse of 1 by 5. Rajesh? Hello, Rajesh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me how you got that.
So the horizontal velocity of the bomb
Hmm.
at the ground is Vh, that is 500 meter per second.
Okay.
So the vertical velocity of the bomb at ground, that is Vv,
Okay.
and the angle with horizontal is theta, right?
Okay.
So if we use V is
Hmm.
equal to U plus 80,
Huh.
then we will get 10 into 10, that is 100 meter per second.
Okay.
So tan theta is equal to Vv upon Vh is equal to
Vy
100
by
upon
Vx.
500. Huh,
Huh.
yeah. So 1 upon 5.
Okay, yeah, correct, correct, correct. So it's vertical by horizontal, that will give you the angle with the ground. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so that was a pretty quick one. So whenever you need the angle, I just need the components. Once I know the components, I can use your trigonometric tan as your vertical by horizontal. And the last question was just related to your time of flight. So there we applied the formula h is equal to half gt square to get the value of time, and then time was used for the formula for range, r is equal to ut. Then we got the value for range. So direct substitution of two formulas. Yeah, Rahul, tell me.
Yeah, sir. Sir,
Hmm.
I'm getting answer tan inverse of 1 by 10.
How come?
See, sir, see, first I use the formula h dash equals half g t square.
But
Sir,
why to use that formula?
sir, I thought we have to calculate with the distance,
Acha, you
displacement,
thought
vertical
along with the distance.
displacement. I took vertical and horizontal displacement.
Acha, acha, means you just did like vertical height and the horizontal distance and then the angle between them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay, but it is not that way, na? It is actually the motion of the curve, because what
Okay, sir.
distance you actually calculated, na, that was a straight line with the base. This angle you calculated.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, but what is required? We require this one, which it will form, and that depends upon your velocities.
Okay,
Correct?
sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Viro, what do you say? How will it
So
be
no,
sine inverse?
no. Sir, I made the same mistake actually. I wrote
Achha,
sign
okay.
by mistake.
Okay, okay, chalo, not a problem. Okay, so Jayendra, why it is calling as tan inverse? It is same as the tan answer. Yeah, it is tan is equal to 1 by 5, or angle is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 5, because tan will go on the other side as an inverse operator. So they are calling it as tan inverse of 1 by 5. Okay, so I'm just giving the next question. Answer for second is tan inverse of 1 by 5. Oh, I'm not able to draw that. Chalo, others can solve the third question. Till then, I'm just explaining this question to some of them. Yeah, Kushi, this is the diagram what we need. This is the velocity. and these are the two components of the velocities, which will help us to find the value of angle, horizontal and vertical. So whenever you talk about the angle with the horizontal, so this is the line. So nothing but we need this angle. So I'm just drawing the angle also over there. So we actually need this angle with which it hits the ground, and that angle is similar to this angle. Okay, so few of them got the answer. Okay, yeah, with your answer is correct. Anvi is getting 600 meter, Abhishek has 600, Tanmay. Devanshi, you need to check the answer because most of them are getting 600 meter. I don't think so it will be that large. Virok is also getting 600. Okay. Sneha, check the answer once because most of them are getting 600. I think so 600 is correct. I have not solved the questions. Nitya, how come 605.3? Have you taken GS 9.8 or something? Yeah, Rajesh, even you, how you are getting the decimal answers? Most of them are getting the exact answers. Okay, so we need to apply the formula. Okay. So you just substitute the t value in that. Yeah, correct. Formula is correct, Bhavya. Yeah, Naman, tell me quickly.
So I was just saying the answer for the third exam.
Acha, tell me. What answer you got?
Sir, it's 600 meters. I wrote it in the chat also.
Acha, how you got 600 meter?
So firstly, we'll take h is equal to half g t dash square. So that's the formula. And then we already
Okay.
have the height, which is 80 meters.
Hmm.
And then half into 10 meter per second square into t dash square. After that,
Okay.
we'll change the subject to make t the subject, and then we'll get the answer of t is equal to 4 seconds.
Okay.
And then after that, for range, the distance would be the range. So r dash is equal to u t dash. So which is equal to 150 into 4, which is equal to 600 meters. 600 meters.
600 meters. Okay,
Yes.
absolutely
Thank
correct.
you.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, so those who are getting the decimal form, I don't know how you decimal form. It might be due to the value of GU which you are taken. Just remember, if they're specifying the G value, we cannot change it. Okay, so the answer for this was 600 meter. Should I give the next one? Everyone got up till the third question. Yeah, Bhavish. Yeah, Dvit, tell me.
Sir, I had a doubt in the second one only.
Yeah, tell me. What is your doubt?
Sir, I was getting tan inverse of 1 by 10.
How come you're getting tan inverse of 1 by 10? What
So
velocities
because
you
I
got?
got height as 500 meters
Hmm?
and then range as 5000 meters.
No, but why you're taking the height?
Then
Because
what
if
should
you
I
take
take?
height, don't you think you're actually getting the angle of this displacement of the hypotenuse?
Yes,
But
sir.
my projectile is not along that line. My projectile is a curve. So
Okay.
the direction of that curve is represented by the tangent at that curve. And that tangent is nothing but the velocity. So we need to take the angle with the velocity components, not with the displacement components. So the answer
Okay,
which
sir.
you are getting it with respect to this hypotenuse, which is not correct.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Bhavya, you need to just apply V equals to U plus AT. So A is 10, time is 10, 10 into 10 will become 100. Yes, Tanmay, R is a horizontal. The next question. I'm just giving all the forms of the questions that can arise. Okay, so I'm getting few answers as 10 meter per second. Yeah, Sneha. Good one. Sneha was the first one to answer this. Yes, I think so. 10 is correct. Virok, Anvi, Khushi, Shaunak, Bhavya, Rajesh. Okay, everyone is getting same. Abhishek, Harshit, Daksha, Shaurya. Okay, good. Yes, Sneha, quickly tell me.
Sir, I use the formula that height of tower would be h is equal to half gt dash square. So
Okay,
g is given as I took as 10. So
okay.
5 is equal to half into 10 into t dash square. So t dash I
Hmm.
got as 1 second. So I substituted in the formula of range. So the
Okay.
range would be u into t dash. So the u is given sorry, t is given as 10.
Hmm.
So
T is
10
1.
t is 1 and r is 10. So 10 is
Okay.
equal to u into 1. So u would be 10 meter per second.
Yeah, absolutely correct. So you're getting initial velocity as 10 meter per second. So I think so these questions are pretty simple. Okay, so I think so like horizontal projectiles, sorry, are bit easy to simplify. Yes, so correct answer is your 10 meter per second. Only two formulas, quick formulas to solve these questions. So scoring part you can say of projectile. Yeah, even that's easiest way you can go. Yeah, Tanmay, if you apply that formula, that is nothing but you will get R equals to U. Acha, that also you can apply. V equal to U plus 80 if you know the time as initial 0. Okay, so last question of this type. A body is projected horizontally from a height with speed 20 meter per second. What will be its speed after 5 seconds? $70. Okay, Jayendra got the answer as 70. Shaurya is getting 70. Bhavya is getting 54. Jayendra and Shaurya, you check whether it is 54 and Bhavya, you check whether it is 70. Tanmay, how come it will be in meter? I need the speed. Acha, one more answer I got as 50 meter per second. Shaunak. So three answers 50, 70, and 54. Oh, I am getting something in square root terms. Okay. So Bhavya sent some calculation as root of. Okay. So Bhavya, you're a bit, I think so close. Yes, Nitya and Bhavya, you're correct. I think so. So the answer, most probably, what I'm finding out as per the chat, is 54. Yes, Rahul.
Yeah, sir.
Hmm.
So, sir, I use the formula V is equal to U plus AT.
Okay.
Sir, U is 20,
Hmm.
T is 50, T is 5, sorry,
Ah.
and G is 10. So, if we substitute, we get 20 plus 50, which gives us 70.
Okay. So this is the method which you applied.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 Fine. Wait. You just be online. I will cross check your answer once. Nitya. Nitya, I just saw that you got some different answer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And he got some 70. How you got 54?
So the body is horizontal with a velocity of 20 meter per second.
Yeah, correct.
So ux is equal to 20 meter per second,
Hmm.
and I took ax is equal to 0.
Okay, correct.
So for the along the vertical axis, if we take
Hmm.
uy is equal to 0,
Yeah, correct.
t is given as 5 seconds.
Hmm.
So Vy is equal to Uy plus Ayt.
Correct.
Then Vy is equal to 0 plus 10 into 5, which is equal
Hmm.
to 50 meter per second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then.
Then root 50 square plus 20 square uh,
Okay.
whole meter per second. So root 2900 meter per second.
Okay.
So by solving,
Means,
we get 54 meter per second.
okay, fine. Means you are just telling that whatever the resultant is there, that is due to the two components of the velocity,
Yeah.
right? So the
Yes.
one value you get as 20 because that is going to remain the same, and
Yes.
50 you got by applying the motion equation, and then you applied the Pythagoras.
Yes.
Okay, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Rahul, I think so. You are pretty clear why I cannot use directly the formula because it is not a horizontal motion or motion in one dimension. It is being done in two dimensions. So horizontally, it is uniform. So horizontal component, it is going to remain the same as 20. But when you talk about the vertical initial was 0. And after 5 seconds, if you apply the formula V equal to U plus AT, A as 10, gravity, 10 into 5, that will be 50. So vertical velocity after 5 seconds is 50. Means at this point it has two components. One component is 20 horizontally and 50 vertically. So to get the resultant, I will just take the Pythagoras root. The same thing I explained when I was giving the slide, explaining the slide for horizontal. That it's Vx and Vy after certain time. And to get your V, it should be root of your final values. Nothing but it will be 20 square plus 50 square. So 400 plus nothing but it will be something root of 2900. Approximately comes as 54 meter per second. That's the answer. Yes, Shaunak. If they would have asked only for the vertical velocity, then it is 50. Okay, Rahul, no problem. Just understand the method so that in future while solving the questions, you should be pretty much clear with it. So I hope the second type is clear. I'm just moving for the next type if no doubts are there. I just gave all the type of questions which might arise for horizontal projectile. They might ask you velocity, they might ask you angle, they might ask you time, they might ask you horizontal range, or they might ask you the final velocity after a certain period of time. So these are all the possible cases of your horizontal velocity. With I got this 50 by applying a formula V equal to U plus AT. U was 0, A was 10, and T was 5 seconds. So it becomes 50. Okay. So I'm just clearing the screen. I'm just moving ahead. If all the numericals are pretty clear, how to simplify them? Okay, so I have the last type to go with it, and just one question related to that. So 15 minutes, we will just get over with the things. Now the last type of question which comes in projectile or R level is nothing but you're going to project it from a certain height. So type 3 is nothing but oblique projectile from a height. So first we did oblique projectile from ground, then we did horizontal projectile from a height. Now we are going to do oblique projectile from a height. What does that mean? Suppose if there is a certain height, certain building on which you are going to throw a certain object. So if it is being inclined at a certain angle with the horizontal, you obviously it is going to follow certain path and reach the ground. So this is the actual projectile. So if I just tally the height of the building, you can see, observe that the vertical section, the upper section above the black line is actually your ground projectile, similar to a ground projectile, because it is one level to another level. Means all the formulas which you are calculated, I can apply over here. So just to simplify that, we can see this is the one portion, one region, which is actually your complete projectile. So I can just split the entire sum into two parts. One part as the oblique projectile at same level, in which you can directly apply all the formulas. Nothing but you can say this much is the range R. So directly the formula is 2 u square sine theta cos theta by g to calculate the value of R. Just parallelly look at the diagram also, so that there won't be any confusion. Similarly, if I talk about the time of flight only from this level to this level I'm talking, not for the entire projectile. I'm talking about the same level, first part. There also you can apply direct formula. And when you talk about the height, see in the diagram, there is a capital H. So the height of the projectile. So that even you can directly apply the formula. Now, these three things you can get for the upper section at the same level. But now when we move for the another remaining section of the projectile, so this is the remaining part. The height to be covered and the horizontal distance to be covered further. So that time for the second part, you can say the remaining projectile. So I can say, see the velocity at that point will be tangential, and that will be similar to what was initial. So it will be u again when it is at the same level as per our ground projectile definition. So I can say the horizontal component will be u cos theta, vertical component at that moment will be u sin theta at that moment. Now the second part I'm going to begin from this moment, this part. So you can directly say, if I say that let small t be the time it takes to reach the ground from that particular height. So this will be your horizontal distance, which will be further covered due to the continuation of the projectile. So directly x I can write it as u cos theta into t, where small t is nothing but time it takes from this point to this point. Then I can say for the height h, the vertical displacement which it has to cover, that will be u sin theta t plus half gt square, because initial velocity is u sin, displacement is h, it is coming down, so it is positive g, and time I took as small t, second motion equation. So for complete projectile, now I can, once I calculate all the values, I can say my time of projectile will be small t plus capital T, because capital T was time of flight for the upper projectile and small t for the remaining projectile below the level. Second, I can say for the range of the projectile complete, that was capital R for the upper value and x for the remaining. And your height was also nothing but capital H and the height of the building. So I can relate in these three forms. And if they ask you to get the value of velocity when it reaches the ground, So that time again, I need to just calculate the horizontal component. I need to calculate the vertical component. So for part 2, I just considered the projectile from this section, from this point. So there the velocity u will be same in magnitude, and angle form will also be same as initial, because when it reaches the same level, the angle and magnitude is same. So from this point to this point on the same level, the horizontal component and vertical component will also be the same. And for the remaining section, I just applied your basic basic motion equation. For vertical, use S is equal to ut plus half at square, and for horizontal, since it is uniform, use your distance equal to speed into time. Yeah, Tanmay, I'm talking about the entire projectile from the point it was really it was projected from the top of the tower till it reaches the ground. So it is covering your capital R as well as small x. Look at the diagram. So I'm talking about the complete projectiles. So this is your approach or understanding which you can keep. Yes, theta will be the same because on the same level, the angle with which it was projected and angle with which it reaches the ground are same. It is symmetric, which I even explained in the ground to ground projectiles. Yeah, if it's done, I just want the understanding part, nothing else. Like whenever you look at the projectile in your brain, two things can easily work on that. One is your complete projectile at the same level, and remaining part you can solve by your basic understanding of horizontal and vertical. Yeah, Tanmay, tell me.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me. Which part you didn't understand in the second?
So part 2, that x is how can we u cos theta t?
Because horizontal is uniform motion, and I'm taking that it is taking time to reach from this point to this point. So during that time, the horizontal distance covered is x. So distance is equal to speed into time. So x equal to u cos theta into t.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
And you're welcome. Okay, so if it's done, I'm just giving the last numerical of the chapter as well. So that was one way to solve. The another way is like you can even apply your motion equations, basic vertical and horizontal for the total case. Just try to get the answer for this. Okay, one answer I'm getting as root 14 from Bhavish. Okay, Nitya is getting 7 seconds. Rajesh is getting 7 seconds. Anyone else? 3 answers till now. Root 14, 7. Okay, Aditya is getting as 9 seconds. Devanshi, Snehil and Anvi, 7 seconds. Okay. Yes, Neha, even I need to check. Kushi is getting 7.1. Okay. Snehil? Snehil, can you hear me? Okay, Tanmay, check the answer once. Snehil?
Yes, yeah, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
So first we'll use the formula for the oblique projectile. T is equal to u sine theta by g.
Hmm.
Then u is given as 50. Sine, we have to take theta as 30.
Hmm.
Sine theta is half. So 2 into 50 into 2 into 50 upon 20, which will be 5.
Okay.
Then for the remaining projectile, we'll take the formula h is equal to u sine theta t plus half gt square.
Hmm.
Then here h is given as 70 and u sine theta will be 25t plus 5t square. Then we'll get a quadratic equation as t square plus 5t minus 14 is equal to 0.
Hmm.
Then t will be either equal to 2 or minus 7, but time cannot be negative, so time will be 2, and
Hmm.
we'll add 2 and 5 to get the total time.
That's 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, chalo. Thank you, Snehil. Okay, so see, this was one approach which I explained. So directly you can apply the time of flight was one part, and second part you can apply the vertical motion directly. Or else I have a second type, also second method also. If for the entire question I just assume it as vertical. So can I see the initial, the vertical velocity was 50 sine 30. Then that will be nothing but 25. Then vertical acceleration was minus 9.8. If I talk about the displacement vertically, that was just minus 70 because it is going to reach the ground and that motion is going to be downward. So displacement covered will be minus 70. Just talking about the vertical values. And I need to get the value of time. I can directly apply the formula. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Even then I can get the value of your time as 7.1 or any other value. Like two values you will get. So this is also the way you can simplify it. Hello. Yes, so the chapter is also completed. Yeah, Akshat, tell me.
Sir,
Hmm.
hello.
Yeah, tell
Can
me.
you please, hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Can you please repeat the solution for this question, example 1? Is this the last question?
Yeah, it's the last question.
Can you please repeat?
See, I just considered the vertical case for the entire projectile.
Okay.
If I take the vertical case, means all the values should be with respect to the vertical. So the velocity initial should also be the magnitude which is vertical. Acceleration should also be vertical. Displacement should also be vertical. Displacement I already know that is the height. And that height will be covered in the opposite direction as per the throw because the ball is going to move downwards. So your displacement is minus 70. Acceleration
Okay.
initially when you throw, that is against the gravity, so that is minus 9.8. And the velocity vertical is nothing but your vertical component, which is u sine theta. So 50
Okay.
sine 30, that is 25. So once you know all the values, just apply the second motion equation, you will get the value of time it takes to reach the ground.
Okay. Understood, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
welcome.
sir.
Okay, so anyone else want to ask anything? So here we have just ended our chapter, completed with our kinematics. So next class we can start with a new chapter then. So anyone still want to ask anything? Yeah, both the answers are correct. 7 and 7.1. Next chapter, I think so. It's motion in Newton's laws of motion. Yeah, Aditya, tell me.
Sir, I have asked my doubt in the chat.
Yeah. Wait. I'll just check, Aditya. Okay. No, I cannot use h is equal to half gt square because it is not related to a free fall. H is equal to half gt square is applicable whenever the initial velocity is 0. But here initial velocity is 50 sine 30. So I cannot use that formula. Aditya. Horizontal motion, they are not at all asking us in the question, so not required. So even if they ask for horizontal motion, so we know the velocity value. Horizontal component is u cos, and you know the time value. If you just multiply, you'll get the total horizontal displacement. Okay, so if no one is having any doubt, they can just leave the meeting. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care. Stay safe. We'll just meet up in the next class.